Have you ever seen your dog barking at nothing? Or your cat staring at a dark corner like they're seeing something invisible? What if I told you they might actually be sensing something that we can't? Face screaming in fear over the years, countless stories have emerged about animals having a supernatural connection. But is it real or just a coincidence? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see your pets forever. Animals have always been seen as special beings, but few people realize just how connected they might be to the invisible world. If you've ever noticed your dog barking at nothing, your cat staring at an empty space, or even other animals acting strangely, you might be witnessing something far beyond what you think. And here's a question for you. Are dogs and cats just our companions? Or could they be something much more powerful? Could they be spiritual guardians by our side? Today, you're about to discover real-life stories, shocking reports, and hidden secrets about animals and the supernatural. And the last story I'll share might completely change the way you see your pet. But before we start, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because here, you'll learn things no one else is telling you. Now, get ready, because after hearing this, you'll never look at animals the same way again. Chapter 1. Why do dogs seem to see things humans can't? Have you ever caught your dog staring at a corner of the room as if watching something invisible? Or barking at nothing? Growling as if sensing a presence that you can't? Many people brush it off as random behavior. But what if it's not? Dogs have incredibly sharp senses. Their sense of smell is up to 100,000 times stronger than ours, and their hearing picks up frequencies we can't detect. So the big question is, what are they perceiving that we aren't? There are countless stories of dogs refusing to enter certain rooms or acting uneasy in particular areas, as if they're sensing something dangerous. In many cultures, dogs are believed to see beyond the physical world, detecting spiritual entities or energies that remain invisible to us. Some owners have reported that their dogs suddenly started howling in the middle of the night, only to find out later that a family member passed away at that exact moment. Coincidence? Maybe. But with so many similar cases, can we really ignore it? Beyond their exceptional night vision and ability to hear sounds beyond human range, studies suggest that dogs can detect electromagnetic fields and subtle energy shifts. That might explain why so many dogs react strongly in historically charged places, abandoned hospitals, ancient houses, cemeteries, and even their own homes. Could it be that they're sensing spiritual vibrations? And if dogs really are our spiritual sensors, what does that mean for us? Maybe, when your dog growls at nothing or refuses to enter a room, they're trying to warn you about something beyond human perception. So next time it happens, pay attention. Look around. What do you feel? Your dog might be trying to tell you something. But are they the only animals with this supernatural connection? Chapter 2. Cats as spiritual guardians against negative energy. Have you ever heard that cats have a mystical connection to the spiritual world? Unlike dogs, who react intensely to unseen presences, cats seem to have a much more subtle, but equally powerful role. In many cultures, they are believed to act as spiritual guardians, absorbing and dissolving negative energies around them. But how does this actually work? Think about how a cat behaves in a house. They always choose specific spots to rest, sometimes sleeping for long hours in the same place. What most people don't realize is that cats aren't just picking random spots. According to some esoteric beliefs, They naturally gravitate toward areas of high energetic activity, absorbing and neutralizing negative vibrations. Some cat owners have even reported a noticeable change in their home's atmosphere after bringing a cat into their lives. Could that really be just a coincidence? Another fascinating aspect is a cat's purr. Studies suggest that the frequency of a cat's purring has therapeutic properties. It reduces stress, accelerates healing, and even helps with pain relief. But many believe it does something even deeper. It acts as an energetic shield, protecting its owner from spiritual attacks and negative influences. Have you ever noticed how cats rub against people? Some say it's not just about affection, but actually a way of cleansing your energy field, removing any bad energy that might be lingering around you. There are also countless stories of cats predicting danger before it happens. In hospitals, some cats have been observed staying near certain patients in their final hours, as if sensing their transition. Other stories tell of cats that completely avoid certain people, as if instinctively detecting an unseen heaviness in their presence. What exactly are these feline guardians picking up on that we can't? If dogs are sentinels, then cats are silent protectors, guarding and balancing the energy around us. But are they the only ones with this supernatural ability? Or do other creatures also possess this deep connection to the unseen? Chapter 3. Stories of Animals Warning About Spiritual Presences. If history has taught us anything, it's that animals have an extraordinary sensitivity. But what happens when that sensitivity goes beyond the physical world and turns into a real warning about something supernatural? Over the years, countless reports have surfaced of dogs, cats, and even other animals reacting to unseen forces, sometimes even protecting their owners from something they couldn't see. One of the most famous cases happened in the United States in 2014. A family had recently moved into an old house when they noticed their dog acting strangely. Every night, at exactly 2:45 a.m., the dog would wake up suddenly, growling and barking aggressively at the dark hallway. After doing some research, they discovered that a former resident of the house had passed away at that exact time, decades earlier. Strangely enough, after a spiritual cleansing of the house, the dog never reacted that way again. Coincidence? Or proof that animals can sense something we can't? And it's not just dogs and cats that display this kind of awareness. There have been reports of birds behaving erratically before someone in a household passes away. In some cultures, ravens and owls are seen as messengers from the spirit world. Many people have claimed to see these birds hovering near their homes before experiencing a significant event. Could it be that they, too, are sensing shifts in energy that humans are oblivious to? Another chilling case happened in Japan. In a small village, a cat living in a temple began acting unusually, avoiding a specific area of the building and refusing to go near it. Curious, the monks decided to investigate and, after digging into the floor, discovered remnants of an ancient burial chamber. After the discovery, the cat's behavior completely changed, as if its mission had been completed. Animals have always been by our side, but maybe they are much more than just companions. If they can sense presences beyond our understanding, does that mean we, too, could develop this ability? Or are we too disconnected from the unseen world, relying on animals to warn us about things we no longer perceive? Chapter 4. How Animals React in Spiritually Charged Places. Have you ever walked into a place and suddenly felt a strange chill or an unexplainable sense of discomfort? Now, imagine how an animal, whose senses are far more developed, would experience that same environment. Many pet owners have reported their animals acting completely different in certain places, getting anxious, barking or meowing at nothing, or even refusing to enter specific rooms. What exactly are they sensing? Dogs are particularly sensitive to subtle energy shifts in an environment. In houses where tragic events have occurred or where there's a history of intense emotional distress, dogs often become restless, avoid certain areas, or even whimper for no apparent reason. Some owners have adopted dogs only to realize that their pets react strangely to certain corners of their home, only to later find out that those very places have a dark past. How do dogs pick up on something that remains hidden from us? Cats, on the other hand, seem to position themselves in these charged areas, almost as if they are working to neutralize the energy. Some cat owners have noticed that their feline companions insist on sleeping in the same specific spot over and over again. But what's even more intriguing is that, after a spiritual cleansing of the house, their behavior suddenly changes. Could they be absorbing or redirecting some kind of invisible force? And it's not just house pets that react to spiritual energy. Horses, for example, are extremely sensitive to the energy of both people and places. In historic sites and ruins where intense battles once took place, there are multiple reports of horses refusing to move forward, rearing up, acting nervous, or even running away in fear, despite there being no visible threat. If animals are reacting so strongly to certain places, does that mean these locations really hold something? And more importantly, could humans also tap into this awareness if we paid more attention to our instincts? Chapter 5. Haunted houses and the animals that sense them. Haunted houses have fascinated and terrified people for centuries, but there's one strange detail that often goes unnoticed. In many of these cases, animals are the first to sense that something is wrong. Dogs barking at empty spaces, cats staring at specific corners of a room, birds avoiding certain areas. But what exactly are they seeing? One of the most well-documented cases happened in the UK. A family moved into an old house, and from the very first night, their dog started acting strangely. He refused to go upstairs, growled at the empty hallway, and on some nights, barked frantically as if something was there. Months later, after researching the house's history, they discovered that tragic events had occurred there, and previous owners had also reported seeing apparitions in the same hallway where the dog always reacted. Another eerie case comes from Japan. A couple noticed their cat spending hours staring at a dark corner of their bedroom. Sometimes, the cat would arch its back and hiss at seemingly nothing. Disturbed by this, they decided to dig into the house's history and discovered that decades earlier, that very room had been used for disturbing spiritual rituals. After performing an energy cleansing, the cat's behavior completely changed, as if the threat had been removed. Coincidence? Or were they being protected by their feline guardian? And it's not just household pets. Horses have been known to refuse to enter old stables where deaths have occurred, and birds have been observed avoiding rooftops of houses with a dark past. If animals are this sensitive to haunted locations, are these stories just folklore, or is there something truly lurking in these places? If animals can sense these invisible presences, does that mean humans have lost the ability to perceive them too? Or have we simply stopped paying attention to the signs? If there's one thing that's become clear, it's that animals perceive far more than we do. Whether it's a dog barking at nothing, cat refusing to enter a room, or even a horse sensing danger where none seems to exist, are they trying to warn us about something invisible? Now, tell me, have you ever noticed your pet acting strangely? Barking for no reason? Staring at a dark corner? Avoiding certain places? If so, drop a comment below. I want to hear your experience. And remember the question I asked at the beginning? Are dogs and cats just our companions? Or is there something much deeper to their connection with us? After everything you've heard, you probably have your own answer now. But there's something even more mysterious that few people know. Click here and watch the next video, because this story isn't over yet. And of course, before you go, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because here, every video reveals something that might just change the way you see the world.